Libra, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. It is for the week of May 23rd through the 29th of 2023. I've got my notes ready for you. In this video, we're going to go over your the major planetary aspects and transits of this week and how they're going to impact your natal suns and what that means for your day-to-day. We're going to start really broad with all those things that are impacting all of us that we should all be aware of, and then we're going to focus down into those things that specifically you Librans should be aware of. And then we're going to get into the specifics of what is impacting your natal suns, which is when we'll break it into the decans. A decan is a group of 10 degrees, and every zodiac sign has 3 of them because every zodiac sign is a total of 30 degrees. So if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Libra, you are a decan 1. So I'll refer to you as a Libra 1. If your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Libra, you are a Libra 2. And if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Libra, you are a Libra 3. You do not have to know which degree your natal sun is located in Libra. You really only have to know your birthday, because I'm going to estimate the times or the dates, the correlating dates of those degrees, but that's just an estimate. So the most accurate way is to go get a natal chart, and that's easy. It's actually for free on the internet. Many websites do them. Just search free natal chart, and you've already got your birth date. You'll need that, and then you'll need the time of your birth and the place of your birth as well. And then put that information in. It'll spit it out in a couple of seconds, and it's a wonderful way to start getting deeper into astrology. So let's talk about the big things that are happening this week. So we just went through a new moon on the 19th. So this is the week between the new moon and the full moon. The big thing that's happening actually started last week. It's been around for a while. We have Jupiter squared to Pluto, and Pluto in opposition to Mars and square to the South Node. So we have a grand square or grand cross in the sky going on right now. And this is major dissonance and major hardship and major kind of compression. It makes me feel like there's going to be an implosion. It's almost like that is like a relentless sense of, if shit doesn't change, I'm going to destroy everything around and me with it. It's that kind of sense of holding on too hard because the South Node is involved, right? Holding on too hard, not knowing. It's like holding on too hard to the past and really changing, maybe even changing the entire path to begin with between the North Node and the South Node. Jupiter is conjunct the North Node while this happens. Mars is now in Leo. There is this intensity and this stubbornness and this relentlessness and ruthlessness that I think all of us need to be aware of, but especially those of you at specific degrees. So if you are on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio, whether you're in Scorpio or Libra, it's the cusps that are really going to be challenged. If you're on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, if you're on the cusp between Pisces and Aries and Taurus, and if you're on the cusp between Cancer and Leo, this is tough energy. This is really tough energy that is just compacting to the point where it could get so heavy it will either explode, but I think something's going to implode. And I would like to see, it's like the cardinal signs always want something new, and the fixed signs want to stay stuck or stay with what's old. And I'll tell you, Uranus has been in Taurus for quite some time. It has been working hard to rebel against those traditional systems. It's just that the stuckness is holding on so hard that it doesn't want to let go. It's relentlessly insisting upon its life remaining, and it's like fighting for its life. And I think there's just like this big kind of implosion. It feels like an implosion that's going to happen. So that is just something to be aware of. This this grand cross will actually last into next week. and the square between Jupiter and Pluto will last until June 15th. So this could really have another couple of weeks really to majorly impact us. Just an FYI. There's another big thing that's happening simultaneously, which is ironic, is this grand trine. So in the air right now, there is a grand trine between, yeah, I'm looking. There's a grand trine, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. There's still at the beginning part of this week a grand trine between Saturn, Venus, and the South Node, which means we were very comfortable in our situation last week. But this week it seems like we're not comfortable in our situation anymore. We're just holding on for dear life. So, I mean, these are just baseline value changes that integrally are just moving and manipulating all of us. I wish I could make more sense about it. If anybody has any ideas, please do leave the comments below. We also have a trine between the Sun and Pluto now, which is an interesting mix. And there's a sextile that'll last till 2035 between Pluto and Neptune. I think we're changing the very nature of existence. Like something completely new is about to kind of emerge. But the Sun trine Pluto is definitely just for this week. And the Sun trine Pluto is like the butterfly moment of coming out of the cocoon. So it does seem like there's a new dawn here. Something new is dawning. Let's dig down into Venus, because Venus is your ruling dignitary, Libra. Venus is this week, well, first of all, long term, Venus has been square to Chiron. It will not be square to Chiron for much longer, but that means a lot of suffering and pain and bad choices based on insecurities and not feeling good about yourself, not feeling good enough, or just really financial challenges and issues. We also have a sextile to Uranus, which means wanting something different, wanting to rebel, like finding value and being attracted to things that, and finding opportunities and suddenly finding things attractive that you never really thought of before. You never really, like, you'll be surprising yourself a lot this week. And for a while, no. You'll be surprising yourself this week because that sextile won't last long. The Venus square Chiron has lasted a week and a half, and it's been tough, right? It's just been nothing you do is good enough. That kind of feeling, really shitty actually. This week Venus is also trine to Neptune, so escaping into fantasies may be the only salve or balm you have right now. And it is semi-square to the Sun, so not really wanting to see the truth, or not really having a hard time understanding things or things dawning. There's just this sense of I just getting this angry tension because you can't put your finger on it, but something just is wrong. I know that sounds weird, but that's the kind of underlying energy now. And so let's see how this impacts your natal suns. So Libra, if your natal sun, first of all, in Libra, the zodiac sign of Libra, the moon will be moving through Libra from the 27th through the 29th of this week. So it's going to conjunct over your natal sun. If your natal sun is Libra 1, it'll conjunct your natal suns on the 27th, 28th for Libra 2 into the 29th, and then the 29th for Libra 3. So over the course of that time, there could be a little mood shift, a mood swing, a sense of emotional maneuvering or awareness that you haven't had before, and psychic intuition really starting to pop off for that day. Lots of dreams coming through as well. So let's get into Libra 1. So Libra 1s, this is Libras with their natal sun between 0 and 9 degrees Libra. Generally speaking, it's September Libras. So if you're born between the 22nd and I believe the 30th of September, it is you. It's you guys. That's the estimate on the birthdays. So this week, your natal sun is trine to Pluto. That's a long-term aspect, which means these changes, though they might be challenging, it's like being harmonious with the shifts and with extremes, even in some ways being a little too comfortable with the seedy or the hidden, a little too comfortable with hiding things. There's also a long-term opposition to Neptune. So it's like constantly getting lost in your own head, getting lost in your dreams, being easily fooled because you don't want to see the truth. This is really challenging energy for the next year or so because Neptune moves very slowly. So you're kind of stuck with it. It can excite the imagination, but to the point where you're always escaping and reality just doesn't feel like a good place right now. So watch that. The best thing to do when that aspect is happening is to ground yourself and to find a peace and a tranquility with different things that you can hold on to and actually touch. Mostly nature will help a lot with these things. Even sitting in water to help ground yourself and soothe yourself once a week, every other day if you can. Not a shower, but immersing yourself might help you feel calm that dissonance for the next couple of years. And creating, definitely allowing yourself to be inspired through and by creativity will help you use the energy instead of it just ping-ponging around inside of you. This week, your natal suns are sextile to Mars, which is extremely energized and sometimes a little cocky, but there are physical things. Your physical body will bring you opportunities, or you'll have opportunities to do things and be extra physical. So do that because it will be really nice and helpful for your spirit. You also trine the sun. So this week, sextile Mars trine the sun, there's a lot of vitality for you guys. There's a feeling of confidence and a feeling of I want to make progress. And then we have Jupiter. So Jupiter is quincunx to your natal suns. And until the 27th of this week, Mercury is as well. So there is this energy of frustration, not moving fast enough, and information not coming quickly. Now, Mercury just went direct, and so it's still kind of moving itself forward, but we should start to see or feel progress when it comes to Mercury retrograde stuff coming at least by the end of this week. But until the 27th, especially for those of you born more toward like the 29th and 30th, there's still that quincunx to Mercury that could be frustrating you or agitating you, or just information still not here. Why isn't it coming in? I'm not hearing from this person. All those kind of things, not understanding things. It's not a great week to take a test. It's not a great week to give a presentation. If you don't have to, don't do it. Definitely, it's not a great week. The mind is a little bit, it's agitated. So the agitation is a distraction. Let's go into Libra 2s. So Libra 2s, this is if your birthday is between the 1st and 10th or the 1st and 9th of October. So the first, say, 10 days of October would be your birth dates. So would be the estimate of where your natal suns would be, the birth dates, the correlating birth dates. So this week, you're right in the middle. Your natal suns are square to Venus. This is, challenges with money, financial struggles, overspending or consequences from overspending, not feeling valuable, dissonance when it comes to relationships, fear and worry, all of these things. It's a tough week. It's not the best week. And then you have a long-term aspect of opposition to Chiron, which is just feeling like crappy and never feeling good enough. And almost now, especially with things going on in your personal life, it could be exacerbating that energy, making you feel even shittier, even worse. This is a really bad week for finances, honest to God, for finances, for feeling about yourself, what you feel about yourself, especially what you feel about your body, because Chiron is in Aries. Do you feel your partner values you? All of these things are coming to a head this week. And on the 27th of this week, Mercury is starting to be quincunx to, those of you maybe around the 10th and 11th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So it's going to feel like an extra Mercury retrograde, like a extra long Mercury retrograde for the next couple of days as well. So all in all, this is a pretty tough week, and whatever you can do to just take time for self-care and to remind yourself that you are loved. Prayer and gratitude exercises are wonderful for this, but also, massages, though you don't want to spend too much money, but if you really need one, get one. Like self-care, invest in it, because I think you'll need it. I think you'll need it. This week is going to be a rough one for you. We have the third decan of Libra this week is basically Libra is born between the 10th or 11th and the 21st of the month. So definitely Scorpio cusps are included in this. You guys, if you are a Scorpio cusp, your natal sun is conjunct the south node. If you are a cusp, your natal sun is square to Pluto. Your natal suns, all of you, are in opposition to Jupiter this week, square to Mars, square to Venus by the 26th. So the 20 and quincunx the sun. If you don't feel like this is the shittiest week of your life, I would be surprised. Like everything seems to be challenging you. Everything seems to be just imploding, falling apart, and questioning your value, or bringing that mentality. I feel for you. It sucks. This is really sucky energy, I've got to say. I know it's like you want to move, but you can't. It's like you have all this energy in your belly, and it's about to make you explode because there's nothing for you to do with it. Physical accidents or injuries could be more probable, so I wouldn't take any risks in that area. Financial injuries or risks, I wouldn't take any risks in that area. Like disappointments coming. Listen, Mars and Venus, these squares with Venus will pass in the next week. Mars in the next week and a half. Jupiter is a little more long term, but definitely by June that will pass. This just seems to be a really rough patch for you guys. So self-care is recommended. Watch your I know this seems like maybe huge growth is going to come from this, because a lot of things are square to you, your natal suns now. But there's a square if you're on the cusp and conjunct to the south node. That square, the south node, is going to move. It's actually going to move into Libra. It just feels like huge change, maybe self-centeredness, ruthlessness, relentlessness. It could happen to you simply because of desperation. So watch out for that, because there's going to feel like everything is falling apart. It isn't. But there are definite changes that are happening, and extreme changes that are happening. So even if they end up being good, it's not going to feel good while they're happening. But I would trust, because I do think the Venus thing will pass, the Sun will pass, and Mars will pass. It's this square to Pluto that just tells me the things are changing things are changing permanently, and for the better or worse for you guys. It's just not going to be that smooth. There's going to be a lot of challenges to these changes. God, you guys need a lot of self-care this week. Leave the comments below and let me know how this is impacting you. Please do come over to Born Without Boundaries and check out your week ahead tarot card reading. And then, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye, Libra.